Hi there, Stacey Murphy here with Dreaming Earth, and I'm here with Micha Mikailian from Geoship. Welcome.
Hi, thanks.
Awesome. I'm super impressed with Geoship and all that they're up to in this world. Tell everybody a little bit about Geoship and what's next.
Well, at Geoship, we're making homes out of bioceramic composites, and our earth shot is to make the best home on earth, the most affordable home on earth. And it's a home and communities that are more connected to nature, more connected to your neighbor. And we can go a lot deeper, but that's the quick overview.
Just a small vision, just a small vision.
Little vision, yeah. We want to transform the biggest industry on earth.
No problems, no problems.
Make housing affordable for everybody.
Okay, so let's dive into that just a little bit more. Tell me about somebody who has been inside of a Geoship and what is their experience of it?
Yeah, I mean, my experience of being inside a Geoship before I joined the company was just like, wow. Like the Geoships as you might have, it's a geodesic dome made out of these bioceramic composites, and they're full homes, and just the energy is really palpable. Like you feel very connected to yourself, connected to nature, connected to outside. There's a lot of windows everywhere, and it feels amazing. I mean, even some of our investors, they made some small investments, and then they would come and see the dome and like spend some time in there, spend the night in there, and then they'd like 10x the size of their investment because they were just so blown away by the way it made them feel.
And I think that's the goal of any business, is to create something that is so desired and is so wonderful that it sells itself, right? You don't need a good marketing plan. You don't need all those things. It really speaks to people.
Yeah, I would say beyond like selling itself, I would say the greatest companies on the planet are companies that where their product creates a deep emotional connection with the customer. Yeah. And we've managed to do that. So that's really exciting, and it makes it really fun to work on this.
I know for me, this is something that I've been an architect and engineer for my life, and I've been dreaming about places like this, and you guys are actually building them. So I'm really excited.
Yeah, I was too. And I mean, I'm not the founder of Geoship. I'm the CEO now, but I was an investor in the company. I was a customer of the company, and I really I had this dream, and I wanted them in my life, and I joined the company to help make it happen. So.
I love that. And so you've had multiple exits, and this is now a new venture. You thought you weren't going to do this again.
I didn't think I was going to do this again. I was like, I had started 8 companies. I had worked similar to like joining Geoship. I joined a couple of other companies that other people had founded, and I was at a point in my career where I was really more advising companies and making investments, and I didn't really see myself going all in on something, I had other projects and family and community and things that I was doing, and but Geoship, like I was actually creating what Geoship's trying to create in the world for my family, and I purchased a 100-acre compound with some friends that 8 houses on it, and we created a regenerative village and community and started growing our own food and living together with other people. And when I realized that Geoship's team vision was to make that accessible for millions of people, it was like a choiceless choice. Like I was like, wow, I have the gifts and potential to help make this a reality, and I can't say no, because it's something that's so core to what I want to see in the world. That it's like mine to do.
Yes.
So it was just like, I felt the call. I didn't think I was going to do something like this again, and here I am.
we're grateful you're here. Yeah. And I think this happens for a lot of people. They have a vision. They have something that feels like a choiceless choice. They want to bring it into the world. And when you're bringing something into the world, especially in the construction industry, this is not like an app where this is something digital that's easy to sort of bring. The pieces are easy. This is physical product at a large scale that you're bringing into the world, and so there are hurdles. And how do you decide, as you're trying to bring this into the world? I've heard you say that you say no to a lot of things, and so how do you move through the world knowing that this is a slightly different thing than an app or something intangible? This is a big physical product.
I've never brought in a physical product in the world before. So it's new to me.
Okay.
And what I will say is we've been making magic happen and moving really quickly. And the secret to that is finding the right people. It's truly like you can accomplish anything in the world if you can enroll the right people who are deeply connected to the vision and deeply passionate about the vision, that have the skills and competencies to pull it off. And that's what we did. I mean, we recruited like the top of the top people in the world, from like SpaceX and Tesla and Apple and Zoox and all these phenomenal companies. And they were probably some of the best people in the world that could possibly ever join our team, and they did. So it's if you have a solution that can really make a big impact, just shoot for the stars and get the best talent in the world, because getting like talent that's like 80% as good is going to make it 10 times as hard. Like if you get the right people, they'll do the work of an army.
Yeah, it's so true.
And the thing you mentioned about saying no to a lot of things, it's like what we're doing is very exciting, and a lot of people want us to do a lot of things and deliver to a lot of different areas. And it's like, you really have to keep your main thing. I've seen a lot of startups fail because they tried to do too many things, and they had great ideas and great concepts and great passionate founders and really good intentions, but they took on too much and they ran out of money and something happened. And so it's just like that, you gotta keep your team focused and say no to a lot of things, so you do the thing that we have to do. And right now for us, that's like getting our first home to market. We were in R&D for 7 years. We just built our production facility, and we're getting our first home delivered to a paying customer. And people are like, oh, you should do this, or you should do that, you should do this. I was like, yeah, we'll get there.
I love that.
Yeah.
I've always said that as an entrepreneur, my job is a vision holder, not a problem solver. And if you share the vision with enough people, those people who can address those challenges like you're talking about, they show up.
Yeah.
Right?
To me, it's a yes and. I mean, it's like, to me, and how I show up as an entrepreneur, it's like I have to be a vision holder. I have to be a problem solver. It's just like, there's going to be problems to solve. And I think the best entrepreneurs really are self-aware of what their own gifts and talents are. And they really embrace those. And then they find other people to fill in the gaps. Like, I'm not Elon Musk. I'm not the all-star engineer. I actually don't know a lot about engineering. So I just make sure I find the best engineers possible, so I don't have to be that guy. But I've never met someone better in the world than me at finding the right talent and getting them to cohere in magical ways that has their impact be like much bigger than it would be had I not supported the team in finding the common coherence and alignment that's going to like really allow them to excel.
Wonderful.
And so I just doubled down on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then tell me about your funding strategy when you were setting up your different layers of milestones you're going to go through, that knowing that this is a physical product and knowing that this is something that's new to the world, and you said you're new to physical products as well. Yeah. When you set up your milestones, how did you go about strategizing that?
Yeah. So, when I started working with the founders, brilliant founders, and I was like the first guy on the team with some significant business experience, and we were like, we need to build a team here, but we don't have any money. And so we had to start raising money. So we started raising money, and they had already raised not a lot of money, but they raised $1.5 million before I joined the team. They did a lot of R&D, and they accomplished a lot on the R&D side. But I'm like, now we actually need to like we did with R&D, we built a prototype, but now we actually got to productize everything you learned. We got to create a real product that we can go to the market with and scale and industrialize a manufacturing process. Like, that's next. And we didn't have any money, and we didn't have the team. So it's like, we have to convince the investors to give us the money to hire the team. And that wasn't easy. And it was actually right when the market was crashing, and interest rates were going up like crazy a couple of years ago, and inflation, and not a lot of people were investing. All the valuations were coming down, and somehow we pulled it off. Last year we raised $3 million over the year, and we built an all-star team. they started getting the product together. They went through all the regulatory stuff. We mapped out the factory, we leased the factory, and now we're raising money at a much higher valuation to actually bring it to market because we de-risked the business a lot. And now we're raising $5 million. So instead of going to the market originally, I was like, let's go to the market at 8. And I was like, let's do the 3 first, build a team, de-risk, and then we can like raise the valuation and go to the market for the other 5. And now it's been easy. The 5 million's come in and like, just like that. It's been pretty quick.
Yeah, and I think you guys have momentum. Everybody wants to be a part of this story, I think. It's starting to really kind of kick into gear. Feels to me, anyway, it feels very magical in that sense.
Yeah.
I'm curious, you did a crowdfunding, the first crowdfunding. Were you a part of the first one?
No, I was a part as a supporter.
The supporter.
Yeah. Like I participated, but I wasn't working with the company.
Yeah. So who sent it to you? Or how did you first hear about it?
I was researching. I was researching companies that were creating healthy natural homes, and I ran across it.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And so were you an immediate yes when you saw the crowdfunding and you jumped in, or did you do a lot of due diligence?
Yeah, I mean, I was a yes, but I was really skeptical. I was like a yes, but this feels too good to be true. I'm like, this is super cool. I like it, but I was willing to stick my toes in the water and check it out. And I remember when we did the dance on like joining the team, I started going deep, and I just started asking a lot of questions. I started talking to a lot of experts and meeting a lot of people, and the more layers deep I went, I was just like, wow, this is a really transformational technology. And it makes sense people are skeptical because it feels too good to be true. I'm like, hey, we're going to sell you a house that's fireproof and it's hurricane proof and it's like mold free and it's healthy and it's all natural and it's more energy efficient and it's half the cost. Like that doesn't make sense. But the team figured out a way to do that. And once I was fully bought into that, and I was like, wow, we can actually make this happen. It's like just the awareness that like that could change the world.
Right.
Right. Got to do it.
Yeah. And I find that to be true with a lot of regenerative nature-based solutions, that there's this impact that happens very quickly that people sometimes look at it and say, it can't be that simple, can it?
Yeah. I mean, it's a technological innovation. And, you mentioned construction earlier, but we're not a construction company. We're actually a product company. We're productizing the home. And when our team is on the job site, they're installing a product. They're not constructing something. They're not measuring and cutting and making decisions. It's a fully engineered system of parts that goes together like a product. And that's how we can offer something that's so performative for a much lower cost.
I love that. And so I want to ask a little bit more personal question, which is, what's the most surprising thing you found about the world as you've been working on this project for yourself? What's the most surprising thing you've discovered?
The most surprising thing? It takes a lot to surprise me.
Or the most fun. You could go the most fun.
Yeah, I guess the most surprising, there is something surprising, and I was talking about it with a friend of mine today who actually used to work for me at a previous startup, and he's running his own company now, and he just sold another company. And I was like, if you would have told me a year ago we would have been able to accomplish everything we accomplished over the last year, I would not have believed you. And so I just reflecting back on that, I was like, wow, what surprised me is how much we could accomplish when we had the right people, and how much we could achieve, and how much I've learned. It's like I've been around the block quite a few times and starting different companies, but you always learn new things. And just working with the level of experts we brought onto the team, all kinds of new things I'm learning. And I've learned more in this past year than I think I've learned in probably any other year of my career.
That's incredible. And I think what's interesting about your system, your product, is that there's going to be so many accessory kind of products that come from it as well, and so many ways that you can use this. I know the first use is this house. This is the go-to-market. But everybody wants one of these for all of their different things.
Yeah.
Is there a limit to how you can use the bioceramic. If you go to market and you have all the success, is there a limit? Can you do larger construction? Can you do other things?
We could do a lot.
Okay,
yeah,
he's not giving away all the secrets.
We're super focused on getting the dome to market and getting the first house to market, but we got a lot of fun stuff planned. So,
okay, that's the best. You saw the gleam. I saw the gleam in his eye. Did you see the gleam in his eye? It's pretty good. Yeah.
No, it's a very transformative technology that over time I think will evolve for lots of different use cases.
Wonderful. And is there anything else that you'd like to share with people today? Any last thoughts?
Is this like entrepreneurs listening to this mostly? Or like
entrepreneurs, investors, architects,
visionaries. Yeah, I'm just like all the things I've started and all the things I believed in and I personally really invested in over my career. It's like there's always more people who are going to tell you it's not going to work than people who are going to encourage you. And when I was younger and earlier in my career, I actually let that impact me. And now it's just like, it's like you just gotta like let it roll right off. Cause when you're on the visionary, like bleeding edge, you're seeing things that other people just can't see. And it's like, there's a reason there's the early adopter for curves and the fast followers. And, just to like, live in your conviction, like take other people's feedback, but like, listen to other people's feedback, but choose what you want to take based on what feels like it's really true to you, and follow your dreams voraciously.
Yes.
Voraciously.
Yes. Voraciously. Fiercely.
Yes.
Yes.
Like a warrior.
Yes.
Ow! Get it? How are we going to create the new world if you don't just like follow your dreams voraciously like a warrior? Let's do it.
I love that. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. It's been so wonderful to meet you.
Yeah.
Thank
you.